Is that better? How about I just turn both of them?
No, please don't.
Top one. Yep, that one.
There you go.
Clockwise.
Is that better?
That is much better. Thank you.
All right.
All right, then.
Jesus. Dude, also, I listen to a lot of different pods, and it freaking tilts me when they have
Bad quality.
problems with their recording level. Like
Oh, yeah.
if they'll have an intro, like one of them that I have listened to has an intro that's like totally loud, and then when it comes on to the regular part of the program, it's like it's like
Yeah.
God damn
what
it,
are we
and then
fucking
you
doing
don't
here?
know when they're done.
Dude,
and then
that's
when
why
they're
I
done,
kept on Casey's
the outro
ass
is like
about it.
it's like
Yeah.
jeez.
That's why I was on Casey's ass about it when we first started.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, the fucking pod is quiet, and he's like, it's got to be an Apple thing. I'm like, I don't know, man.
It was because it sounded great on Spotify and on Google Podcasts, which is where I always would test the recording.
I averaged
it-
3 hours and
honestly-
46 minutes of screen time per day last week.
Honestly, I feel like it doesn't even matter as much what the level is, as long as it's consistent.
Yeah, that is very true.
Dude,
And
there's a
that's
great
something that
travesty
took
in this
me a
country
lot
that
of
is
learning
the
to do.
non-standardization of volume levels of like.
The non-standard.
That is a great travesty. I agree.
Yeah, dude. Like fucking YouTube pisses me off with that.
is the worst.
Like
Yeah,
the ads
exactly.
are like cranked up to 11, and
Yeah.
then so you gotta turn it down, and then you can't fucking hear anything on the video you're trying to watch.
That's
Yeah.
a great.
It's
that's a great
so
point.
annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great point.
And like even like fucking HBO Max does it too, where like all of their trailers, like before the Last of Us episodes, they're like super fucking loud, and then
Yeah.
you're like trying to hear everything in the show,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So you have to turn it back up, dude. It's so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
every fucking streaming platform is a different volume, so you can't just like I can't just leave my soundbar at like volume level 30 and have it be
Right.
fine.
Right.
That
yeah.
Because either I'm gonna blow my eardrums out or not be able to hear anything.
Exactly.
That was one of the things that was really nice about getting like a good quality stereo receiver, because then you can adjust everything with an equalizer or whatever, and then they also
Right.
have like a vocal like enhancer, so you could actually hear
Right.
them
Right.
talking over the loud ass music or whatever that they've got
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Yeah, it was always.
Dude,
I
also
understand your
is
frustration.
Berghoff's twist off?
Yeah.
Okay. Just double checking.
Everything's a twist off if you're not a little fucking bitch.
I guess. It's been a hot minute since I've had to take a top off, a non-twist off without a
Yeah.
thing.
All right.
Can be done, but it's not.
I mean, we've been recording for about the
It's
last
not
5
fun.
minutes, so you guys can just keep going.
Oh shit. All right.
Wait, we didn't even get an intro.
What do we need an intro
I'll get an
for?
intro going.
Yeah, go for it.
What is up, everybody? We are occasionally coherent, and we are
Truth.
back after a year hiatus
And 11 days.
and 11 days. Yep. We are back recording. I am Captain Kreegs here with Casey and the Goose.
Indeed.
In a different location, a different state, a different everything. It's been a year. That's
it is
for sure.
Different state for you, but
Wow.
for us, it's the same state.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
That is the state of confusion.
Constantly in a state of confusion.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've had a lot going on. As you could probably guess from not posting anything since March 15th,
I
right?
think-
Was that the
I think
last
a lot
episode?
going on is like an understatement.
Yeah,
to be
dude,
real.
it's crazy, right?
There's
So
been a
it
lot.
basically summed up, it's the time in our lives where things get real, I
It's
guess.
true. It's true.
In the last year, we've had a lot going on. Both myself and Casey bought a house.
You guys are definitely both more adulting than what you were before.
Right, yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
There's
I
definitely
got
an awful
married.
lot of adulting going on.
Yes.
Right. I got married. Officially, I'm taken, ladies. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, I know. It's one of the great travesties of the 21st century. I know. And yeah, so basically, once we figured out that myself and Lem were going to be moving, we kind of put the podcast on hold because we knew that we wanted to be able to deliver a better product overall, and recording remotely was just never going to allow that.
Yeah.
So, and in the new house, there was going to be extra space. So I bought a nice big house in Menominee, Wisconsin, and there was going to be extra space for a actual studio.
Yeah. I think immediately upon the day of move-in, we were moving stuff in, and I hadn't seen the house yet until the day that Captain Kreegs moved in.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
at
also
that
hadn't
time,
seen it.
We knew that we weren't going to be living in the house that me and my wife were living in, so we were going to be losing the studio because that's where the studio was. So I was like, okay, what are we going to do? We'll have to try and figure something out. We figured that there would probably be space at Captain Kreegs' house for it, but we didn't know for sure. And I walk in, come down to his basement, come all the way down to the end room. I'm like, that looks like the new Occasionally Coherent Studios if I've ever seen it. And I basically laid claim to it right away for the studio.
Yeah.
Didn't even give him a chance to say, oh, yeah, you can use this room.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and the house that I bought, it needed a little bit of work in the basement area, especially because it basically the first floor was modernized, updated, and the basement level was very much not. So the first house project was to, okay, well, let's renovate the room. And basically I had to do a lot of it myself. So it took a while, right? Both Casey and Goose helped out a lot. But yeah, it takes a while. So,
Right.
and there was a lot of other stuff going on. I got married. So that was, basically there was no money for renovating a room while you're trying to plan a wedding.
Right.
So,
And pay for a new house.
yeah, and pay for a new house, right? Yeah, oh my God. I thought I moved here with a lot of stuff, and now it's like I'm paying somebody to move my shit next time, man. There's no
What do you
shot.
mean,
There's
man?
no shot I'm
I'm
moving all
pretty
my
sure
stuff.
I
now.
moved a lot of your stuff.
Oh man.
Like we all did.
Yeah.
We definitely.
I mean, we rallied the troops.
We did.
We got it all in one.
Yeah.
It actually was not bad because I'm a planner.
Yeah.
So I had moved everything from my townhome in Iowa down into my garage by myself.
Yeah. So we had the perfect contradiction in moving styles,
Yes.
because
Agreed.
we had the move for Captain Kreegs and the move for Casey.
Yep.
And so we had Captain Kreegs. We show up in Iowa with appropriate number of trailers and trucks and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, it all fit. It
Yep.
was already in boxes, packed up in
Yep.
the garage, ready to go. It was basically just pull in, load it up,
Clean the
move
house,
out,
get out.
and then clean the house after.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was very straightforward, very linear.
Yeah.
And then we had Casey, who when we showed up, there
Nothing
was
packed.
yeah,
Okay,
there was still.
that's
I'm not gonna say nothing was packed, but I'll say it was only partially packed. There was not a real firm plan of attack.
Mm-hmm.
my situation was a little bit different.
It
though.
was a little
It was the
different.
exact same.
Not even close. Not even close.
I mean, it was a little different, but let's be real. The planning aspect of things was
Yeah.
definitely in favor of Captain Kreegs' move.
Yeah.
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 He had a little bit longer to plan for his move, though. We didn't realize we were going to have to move.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Until-
uncertainty
Yeah,
for
we
you
there was a
guys.
little bit more
Yeah,
uncertainty with
that's
ours
true.
on where we were going to be living for.
It's not an
I don't know
excuse,
if it's an
so.
excuse or
It's
not.
not an
That's
excuse.
fine.
Yeah.
I'll accept it.
I started packing my house up when me and Lem decided we were going to be moving at some point.
That's true. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so
pretty
you
much
had
get
a
after it.
7-8 month head start. We didn't know that we were going to be moving until about a month before we ended up moving.
I bet I had a 2-month head start.
I'm pretty sure you had more than a month.
Yeah.
Nope, it was not.
So,
I can promise you that.
but anyway, so
Anyway.
I moved back to Wisconsin now, close to family. It's awesome. Nice place, a lot of space, all that stuff. We've done a bit of traveling.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to probably 4 or 5 different trips in the last year. Goose has been to Texas a couple times. I've been to Texas, been to Knoxville, you guys went to Peoria, Illinois.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of that kind of stuff. And some other family things that have come up. And it's just kind of every time there was like, okay, well, we should probably get the studio going here. It's like something else came up and it's like, okay, well, we can't prioritize building a studio over this, kind of thing. Whether it be work or family stuff or whatever, right?
So the real thing is though that Captain Kreegs would refuse to record the pod if we didn't have a full-fledged studio.
Well, yeah, of course.
That wasn't necessarily just his choice though, so I did want to touch on that. So like obviously there were times where we were recording remotely and stuff like that. I am very I've learned a lot about audio editing. I've learned a lot about video editing. I still have like a ways to go, but I'm learning stuff, and I refused to put forth a product where it was like I wanted it to be the easiest on me to make sure that the product sounded and looked good.
Right.
Sure.
So that involved having us all together in the same location. So now we're all recording onto one audio track. Well,
right.
I got the 3 separate mics, but one audio track where it's all together instead of me trying to piece it together.
Yep.
After you guys would each send me your audio file.
Right.
Like that is one of the biggest things. And then getting all of the cameras, the function, and getting the right equipment and all that stuff was always a challenge. And it still probably will be a challenge. We're going to run into hiccups, but it surprisingly, everything went together relatively decently once we started getting all the equipment set up.
Right.
I was actually pretty happy with that so far.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's, like I said, we really want to deliver a good product. I'm very much a perfectionist with this kind of thing. And we were talking about it before. One of the biggest, irrational rage moments when I'm listening to podcasts is when there's shit audio quality throughout, right? It's like, come on, figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm a Patreon to a couple different podcasts. One of them, phenomenal audio quality all the time, every time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The other one, they record remote and there's audio issues all the time. It's like, all right, man, I'm paying to fucking listen to your shit.
Yeah.
You gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
It is not that hard. If Casey can do it in my fucking basement,
right?
And a lot of these ones that are Patreon level, they've got
they're doing
studio
Patreon
quality stuff,
If
right?
they're doing Patreon, the expectations are
exactly
definitely
I'm
higher.
paying $5 a month to listen to your guys' extra stuff, and you can't figure out your audio quality,
right? Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to
I
me.
agree with that. Actually, the ones that I complain about that I listen to are not Patreon ones, so it's kind of
right.
You have to temper your expectations a little bit, but at the same time, it's like if you can't, that's like a level set. If you can't establish good quality audio, it's an audio format. So
yeah, exactly. I don't. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So, but anyway, that's that was a big part of why we haven't recorded in a long time. It's because we were like, all right, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it right. And we're going to be able to deliver a good product that we can be proud of, right? There were times before where I didn't even want to listen to a pod because I'm like, the audio quality is not going to be that great, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to listen to that.
I don't remember too many major issues, but we did have a couple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're back. We're recording. Everything seems to be working, and it should be good. We got a nice room. We got the studio set up. You can probably see it on the cameras here. We're doing video now.
I'm snapping the
so
cameras
where are they going to be able to watch this?
So it'll be on our YouTube channel for sure. I'll be editing the video. So episodes are the audio is most likely going to come out on Tuesdays. That's kind of been our normal release date. Because we always record, but pretty much between Saturday and Monday is when we will record our weekly episode.
Yep.
Sure.
And then now with Spotify, I am able to upload the video to Spotify as well.
Oh.
So I might do that. I'm probably not going to do it right away because I haven't learned enough about it. I don't know if the audio and the video need to be uploaded at the same time or if I can upload the audio and then add the video later. I don't know if it's going to let me do that or not.
Sure.
So yeah, I'll be audio will for sure be up and running on Tuesday on the normal normal, same feed, all of that stuff. And then video will be later on in the weeks, most likely. Once I'm able, it'll help having, like I said, having all of everybody in the same place will make that process a little bit easier for me.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing some editing and stuff, probably even potentially today and tomorrow. I'm gonna do my best to try and get everything done at the same time, because then that'll make it easier on everybody and give everybody the opportunity to listen where and how they want to. But for sure, audio Tuesday, video Tuesday or after.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So video on YouTube also available on Spotify eventually.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sweet.
Yep. Yeah, and we are set up to, at some point, if we ever wanted to, we can do live streams. Everything's set up for that if we wanted. We'll have guests. We'll have a whole bunch of different stuff. The studio does give us a little bit more opportunity.
Right.
And us all being together gives us a little bit more opportunity for a little bit more of that kind of stuff, being at least one person, if not all three of us, remote. That kind of took away some of those opportunities. So we'll be ready to go.
We'll have some challenges.
Stuff.
Yeah.
At some point, I'm assuming.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we've been, over the last year, we've been doing a lot of brainstorming as far as like trying to come up with how we want the pod to sound, how we want the content to roll together, kind of thing. So we feel like we've got a pretty good idea of how we want things to go. We want to start doing some new stuff, keep doing some of the old stuff we were doing. And one of the things that I thought would be really cool is the three of us aren't necessarily big alcohol drinkers, right?
Right.
At least not anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we got it out of our system.
I certainly got it out of my system at a younger age, right? So something fun we decided would be to do a different flavor of root beer for a different brand, not flavor, I guess. For every pod. And so the first one today,
until we run out.
Well, yeah, until we run out, then we're going to start having to find some local ones and stuff.
I mean, definitely, we'll get some locals.
So today I brought a root beer called Berghoff's. I don't know if the cameras can see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, a little background on this root beer. I went to school down in Waukesha, Wisconsin. I went to college at Carroll University. And the main grocery store down there is called Woodman's. Really good grocery store. And this is one of the root beers that I got recommended by my buddy Carl in college. He said that this root beer is really good.
Carl did, huh?
Yes.
There you go.
And it has a fun name, Berghoff's. So you can, you can pronounce it very German if you want to.
Yes.
So it was always fun to say we're gonna go get some Berghoff's, and I found it in a couple places up here, and as of right now, it's my favorite root beer. So I figured that it'd be a good first one to go with. So yeah, little background.
Prepared and bottled under the authority of the Berghoff Restaurant Company, Chicago, Illinois, the Berghoff Brewery, Inc. of Monroe, Wisconsin.
There you go.
There you go. Hence the German name.
Exactly. So, and they are twist off. Goose was worried about that.
I was just checking. Yep. That's all. Before the show, it's like, I don't want to have to be taken off a non-twist without a remover or whatever.
Cheers to the first root beer.
Cheers to the first pod back after. In the new studio, too.
Yeah.
Man, that's good stuff.
That's very good.
Yep.
I feel like since it's a new studio, we should be like breaking a bottle of root beer on the wall or something.
Maybe.
Like the maiden,
I don't think
maiden
Kreegs
voyage.
would appreciate if I were to just smash one against the wall and just get root beer all over the brand new carpet. That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
root beer on the carpet would be rough.
The carpet still isn't paid.
It'll
for,
probably
so.
happen at some point, though.
It certainly will.
During the pod.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, one of the thoughts is to maybe do it throughout the year. And then at the end of the year, do like a special where we bring back a couple of the favorites and do like a wine tasting, but with root beer.
Yeah, I mean we could do like a rating.
So
thing, right?
that's what
what we're doing.
Yeah, that's what I had thrown out there. So every root beer is obviously like for me, you get your sweetness, you get a little bit of a spice.
Mm-hmm.
Presentation. So how's the bottle look? That's always important.
Sure. Absolutely.
You can definitely tell. And then an overall rating. So I'll go ahead and start. I'll give it this spice. So I'm gonna
What's
say
the
out of
scale?
5. We'll say out of 5.
Out of 5?
Sure.
5.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I guess since I've got the computer, I'll have to keep track of what everybody says.
Yeah, you
it'll
will.
be. So out of 5 on the spice, I'll probably give it a 3. It's not overly spicy as some other root beers are.
True. Yeah.
Sweetness, I'll say a 3.7. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet.
It's very sweet.
But
It's
not,
a very
but not
sweet
the
root beer.
But not the sweetest root beer
Absolutely
I've ever
not.
had either.
Nope.
Presentation, I love glass bottle root beers. Like every
Yes.
single time, I'm a big
Well,
fan
yeah.
of
Root
that.
beer certainly tastes better in a glass bottle.
So it'll anytime it's in a glass bottle, it'll probably get above a 4 for me. So I'll give this a 4.2 on the presentation, and then overall we'll give it a 4 out of 5 as my rating.
Yeah.
So you're going to give it an overall of 4, but but the only thing that was a 4 in your rating scale was the bottle.
Hey man, I don't tell you.
So is
how
the
to-
over?
how to
So I
rate
take it
your
the
root
overall
beer.
is not a summary.
No. It's just
like
overall.
the full,
Overall, how do you
okay.
feel about it?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
I'm fine with that. All right.
Yeah.
Are you going next or am I?
You can.
All right.
That's fine.
I'm gonna say on the spice, like the flavor, I do actually like it. Does taste a little spicier to me from a root beer perspective, so I'm gonna go 4 out of 5 on the spice. Sweetness, I'd say, to me, root beer can be too sweet,
Yeah.
and some root beer is not
too sweet. Yep.
So, but so I'm gonna look at sweetness as the right amount, and for me, this is pretty close to the right amount. So I'm gonna give that a 4. The bottle, it's the old school. Like it reminds me of like back in the day, growing up outside of Milwaukee, like a bottle of Blatz or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm from a root beer
wasn't the best
perspective. I think I'm going 3 on the bottle,
Okay.
and then overall I'm gonna go 4.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.8.
3.8. For me.
Well,
Sure.
let's go 4.
Ooh.
I suspect that this is gonna be one of the better ones. That we have.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go
I'm
4.
with you there.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
root
I
beer
mean,
wasn't
it,
the best choice for a podcast because I'm definitely already burping.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Sure.
fine.
So
Yeah.
that's gonna
Root
be-
beer
Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure.
Yeah.
Great
We're
on
gonna be
microphones.
piping
That's
some
just-
burps into the microphone.
you're welcome.
This might not be.
Listening audience.
This might not have been the best one to start with.
I
either,
know.
Because
Well, it was
it's like I feel like this could end up being the best one.
It very well could, and like I said, it is currently
It is a very good
my
root beer.
favorite root beer.
Like if
currently.
you go to the store right now and this
Yeah.
is the option, this is the one you get.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
of course. But yeah, it kind of was just a spur of the moment thing. One of the great things about owning a house is, you have to, if it doesn't come with something, you have to install it, right? So
Yeah.
we were installing a garbage disposal yesterday, me and Casey were, and
We
so
as in me.
yeah, well, we as in Casey, yeah.
Oh, really?
Well, he's got the
He's technically
experience.
got a
Yeah,
little bit of experience
exactly.
with that. Yeah.
So, and we had to go run to the hardware store, and they happened to have Berghoffs on the shelf.
Nice.
So it was like, well, might as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, there you go.
While we're here, and so it was like, well, do we really want to start out with what I consider a juggernaut?
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
root beer industry,
Yep.
and it was like, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Set the bar high, right?
Yeah, there you go.
So as far as spice, I would say that it's pretty dang good as far as like the levels of like spiciness and sweetness. So I think I'm gonna go with a 4 on each of those. Like the big thing for me is the flavor of this one.
Yeah.
I freaking love the flavor of this root beer.
Yeah.
It's not too
It's got a
much.
good caramel flavor for sure.
Yeah, it's not too much. It's not too little. It's like just the perfect amount, right? Because for me, at least when there's too much flavor, it almost like burns your tongue. right? When there's too much flavor.
See,
and then
like
it's
that
not.
about root beer, though.
Do you?
Oh yeah, if it like singes your
We'll
nose
get
hairs a
there.
little bit.
I'm sure we'll
nice
get there.
stuff.
We'll get there.
Right. And so right. It's going to be very subjective, right, as far as what we like. But I don't really like that. So I like a little more, perfectly balanced, just like Thanos says, right?
Yeah.
The universe requires balance.
Just like Thanos says,
It all
your
comes
root
full
beer should be
circle.
balanced.
Yeah, it all comes full circle. Exactly. Yeah, just like a subtle reminder that we also are huge nerds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If in case you forgot. But so I'm gonna go 4s on the flavor. I'm not going 5s because there's probably something better out there, and I don't want to say that this is perfect, right? That might have to wait until we're well into the root beer tastings.
Yeah, I feel like at some point we'll probably come back to this one.
I would think so.
Because you don't want to start out by giving something a 5,
Right, yeah,
and then
exactly.
you got nowhere to go.
So then the
in
ratings
case
might
something
change,
is-
right?
Yeah.
As far as the presentation, like I said, root beer always tastes better in a glass bottle.
Oh yeah.
100% of the time. I don't remember the last time I had a root beer that came out of a can.
Yeah.
Just because those are, second-rate root beers, if you ask me.
I mean, there's a burp. Sometimes if you're like at a party or something, that's the only option.
Yeah.
Then that's what you get.
Yep. I mean, literally, if you dump a root beer out of a can into a pitcher, it will taste better. In my mind.
It does seem like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Out of a
true,
can,
yeah.
it sucks.
Yeah.
So bottle is good. Label, I'm a bright colors guy. As far as the label goes, and the writing on the label, it's kind of tough to read.
Yeah.
The logo. For those of us who can't read cursive real well.
Dear Lord. The name is in cursive.
It is in cursive. So I'm gonna dock them a half a point for the label.
The label is pretty.
And I'm gonna go 3.5.
It's not
on the
label,
presentation.
The label does not stand out.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like it could stand out. Like they have like a red circle kind of in here. Like it could be a little better if you ask me. I'm a very visual guy, right?
Sure.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go 3.5 on that, and overall I'll hit it with a 3.8.
3.8. Okay.
Yep.
There you go.
Just as a baseline,
That's
you know,
the starting
first
point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
So, we also wanted to, like I said, it's been a year, right?
Mhm.
And we wanted to make sure that we kind of weighed in a little bit on what's happened in the last year, right? Like we kind of told you what's happened with us. Me
Sure.
and Casey both bought a house. I got married. We've done quite a few trips. All that kind of stuff. I think I've bought and sold 2 cars.
Yeah. Dear Lord.
So
There's literally cars that Captain Kreegs has purchased and sold in the time that we've not had the pod.
yes, absolutely. Yeah. So, I think Casey.
Where were we at a year ago?
Where
Where
were
were
we
you at for vehicles?
A year ago.
You had Lem's Charger.
So Lem had her Charger, and
Did you?
I
still have the
may have had the Durango.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about the Durango.
Yeah, so I owned a Durango for a month. Sold it, bought the Grand Cherokee. So then I had the Grand Cherokee, the Daytona, and the Charger, and Lem's Charger.
Oh, you had all 3 of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I sold the Daytona because I wanted to buy this house and I wanted the money from it to help put down on the house. So then we had the Grand Cherokee and Lem's Charger until about 2 months ago. Well, no, until a week after we got married.
Yeah.
And then I bought a 2022 Hellcat Red Eye Charger. That was the car of my dreams, right? It was so cool. And then basically came to the realization that it's just not practical to own that kind of car. Didn't want to pay for it and have it sit in my fucking garage for 5 months out of the year. Yeah. So I sold that and Lem's Charger. We traded that in for a 2023 Wagoneer, which is to this day the best vehicle all around that I've ever owned.
It is really a nice
It's
vehicle.
so
That's
nice.
for sure, yeah.
If any of our listening audience is on the fence about buying a Wagoneer, fucking do it because you
nice.
will not regret it.
Yeah.
So I've owned that now for about 2 months, and we've got almost 5,000 miles on it because it's been to Knoxville. It's been to Iowa a couple times.
Yeah.
It's going to be going to Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's going to be going to Columbus, Ohio. So,
I think I'm the only one in the pod that hasn't changed cars since in the last year.
yeah,
Casey's changed cars.
that's true.
too.
Casey has.
Yeah.
True.
Casey's current garage is now is a older Charger
Yep.
and a older Porsche.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing overly special, but
Right.
just got rid of the 200 because
200.
because 200. Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. So, but there could be changes coming for both of you. You know.
There could be.
So,
Mama Goose drilled a couple deer with the truck. So the
Yep.
truck's in the shop, has been for a while.
yeah,
Will be for a while.
will be
And
for a
once
while.
we get it out, it might make more sense to get something smaller for her. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see where it ends up.
Yep.
It is, the truck definitely has its, it's
Yeah.
a nice riding vehicle for travel.
Yeah.
And of course I still have my Charger, which I enjoy, but at the same time, Mama Goose doesn't like driving it because
Right.
it sits too low. And
Dude, I'm telling you
we'll
right
see.
now, like after driving like this big SUV, I don't know if I'd ever go back to driving a sedan.
I really like driving the Charger.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun
but
to
I've
drive
always
them,
had-
right?
But I've always kind of liked that low.
Yeah.
When I had the TT.
Right,
it
yeah,
was
you've
sat
always kind of
low
liked the
and-
littler, well, not
handled
necessarily
low
littler,
and-
but like, being low
yeah.
to the ground and stuff. And I know Casey is like kind of hot and cold on looking for
Casey's
cars.
just like
Yeah.
anti-car looking.
So Casey's ideal scenario is that a orange Jeep Renegade Trailhawk falls from the sky into his driveway
and he just has
on
to make
top.
payments.
Yeah, and he just has to make payments on it. That like $250 a month. That's like Casey's ideal scenario.
yeah.
Tell me a world where that isn't the way that buying a vehicle should be. It is the biggest pain in the ass of all time. I think I would rather sit through filling out mortgage paperwork again
Ooh.
as opposed to
Dude, that was
trying to
miserable too. Oh
buy
my
a car.
God,
It is just the worst. It is absolutely the worst.
That's so funny.
Well, and Casey's a cheap ass, so that also makes it worse. So we're doing that, but I think Casey has a list of a few things that have kind of happened throughout the year that he wants a quick take on.
Okay.
We can just go through them quick and then kind of wrap up this first episode back, and then next week we can come back with a full-on topic and
There you go.
be on our way. So what do you got for us, Casey?
So I've got a list of a whole bunch of political topics, if you guys don't mind.
Dear
We'll see
Lord,
how it goes.
political
Oh my
topics.
God, dude.
Here we
I'm
go.
kidding. So as everyone knows, we are very big nerds on this podcast.
Yes.
So we do like to talk about movies, TV shows, all that stuff. And the last year had no shortage of any of that stuff that we haven't been able to talk about.
That's
Right,
true.
right.
So I went through and I wrote down a bunch of different things that have been released that I know that some of us have watched, and all I need is just a quick yep, I liked it, nope, didn't like it, like or what. If you got more on it, you got more on it, that's totally fine.
We probably should have some flavor.
Well,
it depends on what it is.
Yeah,
Something
that's
you might
true.
just be like,
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
it was
That's
okay.
true.
You
Yep.
know, so
Move on.
I'll go ahead and start. So we've got in the MCU right after we went off the air, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness came out.
Dude,
Loved it.
that was awesome.
It was not as
There wasn't very much.
spectacular as it was supposed to be,
Yeah,
but it was still good.
yeah. There wasn't very much multiverse to the madness. That was my only.
Yep.
my only gripe about it.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was still it was a good time.
Yeah,
For sure.
absolutely.
Well, I'm a huge Doctor Strange guy, so it was awesome.
Yep.
These are in no particular order, by the way, so some stuff's just as I thought of it, I wrote it down.
Sure.
Then I'll continue through the MCU stuff, and then we'll move on. Thor: Love and Thunder.
Loved it. Thor is my guy, so I'm down for every Thor movie that they're willing to put in front of me. There's a spot in my house currently dedicated to Thor and Mjolnir.
True.
So yeah, it's not hard to know how I thought about that one.
I thought that one was very entertaining.
Yeah.
It was what I expected as far as the humor and the entertainment value. From like an MCU perspective, it was
pretty mid.
yeah.
MCU wise,
it was
pretty
thin
mid to
that
me.
way, yeah. But yeah, otherwise it was definitely worth the money to go and get entertained.
Then we had Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
I liked it.
I liked it.
Good.
It was good.
It was
very
a fitting tribute to Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah,
that's true.
You know, they really made sure that people understood the impact that Chadwick Boseman had on, you know, the world as a whole and, you know, the MCU fan base as, you know, more particularly. And I laugh because we've had some funny conversations regarding the first Black Panther movie. Me and Casey. Casey is anti the first Black Panther movie.
Oh,
yes.
I just don't think it was as good as everybody makes it out to be. It was a great movie, but
there's some funny.
But simmer down now. Is that
Exactly.
what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
gotcha.
So, last movie, and then we can move on to TV shows and specials. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
I liked it, obviously, right? I liked Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania. I think that it fell short of what it was supposed to do.
Yep, I agree.
I don't know. I feel like, I mean, it wasn't as entertaining as a couple of the other ones that we've just talked about, but from an MCU perspective, I think it did help set up things to come.
Oh, it definitely did, but
You know?
it only did that because of its post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Well, but either way,
that's my thing.
I'm with you there. I
Like,
thought it
literally,
was-
you could have said,
just
go watch the
go
post-credit
watch the
scene.
post-credit scene, and that's all you need to know about what happened
Yeah.
in Quantumania.
I think
I don't know
I was
about
expecting
that.
I was expecting the movie itself to set up things, but the movie itself was too a self-contained story. Too much
I
of
don't
that.
know. I mean, Kang was in the main part of it.
Yeah, but he died.
Or did he?
Well, we can talk about that at a later date.
Right. Moving on to MCU TV shows, we had Moon Knight.
Loved Moon Knight.
I loved Moon Knight.
That was
Absolutely
excellent.
I thought it was
It
very,
really
very well
was.
done.
Yeah.
Great acting.
I'm a big fan of any kind of mythology stuff. So like Greek mythology,
Oh, yeah,
Egyptian
yeah.
mythology, Scandinavian mythology.
Yeah.
You know, God of War is my favorite all-time video game series. So, so anything that kind of deals with that a little bit, I'm all over. And Oscar Isaac, one of my favorite actors.
Yeah,
So,
he did awesome.
For sure.
And I'm also big on that, you know,
Yeah.
on the Egyptian mythology
Yeah,
stuff.
yep.
Yeah.
We had She-Hulk.
It was funny. I'll just say that.
It was the
Yep.
closest thing that I've seen to a live comic book.
Yeah,
It was like watching a comic book.
Yeah.
So it was really I thought it was
a PG-rated Deadpool is all it came
Yeah,
across to
for
me
sure.
from
pretty
me.
much. Yeah,
Which
but
is what
I mean,
she is in the comics.
but that's
too, I
yeah,
guess.
that's it. Like
They-
fit the
They
comic
captured
so
the
well.
essence of what She-Hulk is supposed to be,
Yeah.
like perfectly.
Yeah,
And the ending of that was really funny with
Yeah,
the
it was.
KEVIN. It was like you were sitting there, you're like, no way Kevin Feige's actually going to be in this, right?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
he's a fucking robot.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
that was good.
Yeah.
Miss Marvel.
Probably the worst MCU project to date.
Didn't watch it.
I watched it. I thought it was really good.
It was
actually.
entertaining, but it was meaningless.
To me, that's a perfect like entry level show for a young person that wants to get into Marvel.
We weren't the target audience for
right.
it.
Yeah, no, we definitely weren't.
That's how I've always.
But I still
still
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because it exposed some culture that we don't normally see.
Sure, right.
In any shows.
Yep.
And the fact that there's young people that are watching it that are gonna love it.
Yeah, I respect the show for what it was supposed to be. I think that what it was supposed to be, it was.
Yeah.
But just not for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Couple of specials. We had Werewolves by Night.
Better than what I was expecting.
I'm with you there.
I didn't see it.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worth a watch.
It's definitely worth a watch.
It's kind of an art piece.
Is it a one show thing or is it?
Yeah,
it's like a 45.
It's like 45 minutes. Yeah, it was. I went in being like, I don't want to watch a fucking black and white Marvel thing, right? Like this is
black and white.
Yeah, this is dumb, and I was fairly entertained.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. We had the I Am Groot mini series.
Didn't watch them.
I didn't watch that either.
Okay, I didn't watch it either, so we'll move on.
I forgot about that.
And then
one.
the only other one that I can think of, and if I'm missing any, please tell me. We had the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Mid.
Yeah.
I thought it was entertaining, and
It
it's
was
probably
good.
something that I'll watch every year for Christmas.
Yeah.
The music.
There was some funny
music was
stuff in
hilarious.
The
there.
music
Yeah,
was
music
the best
great.
part.
Yeah, for sure.
There was some funny stuff in there too.
Yeah.
We'll touch on DC here, and then maybe in a different episode.
Oh, yeah,
Captain
that's-
Kreegs and I can get into how we
Me and Casey, it's really a shame that we don't have a car microphone because me and Casey have had insanely heated discussions regarding the DC universe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a big DC guy, so it's like I'm
like-
other than Justice League.
On Thursdays, we have a half-hour drive to and from Pokemon League,
Oh yeah.
and the majority of those in the recent last, I don't know, like 3-4 months, have been just ripping DC a new one.
Well.
But anyway, that's like you said, that's for a later podcast. So.
Yeah. So we've got the only two that I could find, and I'm probably missing some, but I don't care. Was Black Adam.
I don't know what to think about Black Adam. It's like, so it's tough looking back knowing the future, right?
Yeah.
Like we know the future of the DCU now. So like my current thought on it, waste of time.
Yeah.
Waste of time.
And then
The Rock was awful.
This is one
I didn't
that
see
I
it.
think only Captain Kreegs has seen. Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
Really, really good.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Really entertaining, really well done. It's not going to get a high score as far as being like an overall motion picture, but it's very entertaining to the fans. Yep.
Okay.
Also, there was the Batman movie.
With
Robert
We
Pattinson.
talked about that. In the
Did
last-
we really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It came out on the 8th, so I'm pretty sure we talked about it. If we didn't, I liked it.
I also liked it.
So we'll
Yeah, I
like
think
it
we did a
I'm
pod,
pretty sure we
like,
talked
Okay,
about it.
okay.
Star Wars, we had Kenobi.
Didn't live up to the hype.
Everything
I
except for the last
loved
episode.
it.
Yeah, the last episode is all I needed.
Yep.
I loved.
I didn't need anything else.
I loved it all.
I'm with- yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
And then we had Andor.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Dude,
Best Star Wars.
Andor
content in the
was
last-
so good for everybody out there that Captain Kreegs hated the idea of
I
even
did.
watching it
Yeah.
and did not watch it until
I didn't
months
watch. Yeah.
after it
I don't
came
even
out.
know how long it took me to
And
watch it, and I
We
watched
kept,
it
Casey
all in
and
one
I
day.
kept banging on him,
Yep.
saying you gotta watch it, you gotta watch
Yep.
it, you gotta watch it, and then we were hyping up, talking, not obviously giving details, but
Right.
talking about, oh, that last episode was so good,
Dude, it's
and blah, blah, blah.
insanely
And then
good.
finally he watched it and
Yep.
saw the light.
Yeah, it was so good. I hate to say that it's the best Star Wars content I've ever seen because I don't want to give that title out like lightly,
Right. But it
because
might be.
but it might be, right? Like it's
know.
certainly
I know.
worthy of that
It's
title, I
definitely
think.
top 5.
We also had Tales of the Jedi. for Star Wars.
Oh, yep.
The Clone Wars style stuff, which were pretty good.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of Ahsoka Tano, as far as character wise.
Yeah.
So
It was
anything
okay.
that
Getting
dealt
the
with her.
backstory, a little bit of backstory on Dooku was
Yeah.
a lot
Yep.
of
Yeah.
fun for me, anyways.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bad Batch too.
Bad Batch.
Yeah, we had Bad Batch season 2.
Eh.
I haven't finished it yet.
I haven't
I've only
either.
seen
It's
about
not
half.
done,
haven't even,
It's not.
I haven't
done?
even
No.
watched
Yeah.
all of the first season yet. So
It's
Oh really?
I'm
First
pretty behind.
season, I thought was decent.
I'm basically
You're just anti-Omega.
basically. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just waiting. I have hope that there is a payoff for all the pain and suffering that I've had to endure watching the show. That's all I have to say. Like
Gotcha.
it's so bad. It's so empty. I'm just hoping
it
for a
is,
big
but it
payoff,
isn't.
right?
Like there's some this season.
Like, there
there's
was-
been like some almost Pokemon like
Dude,
stuff
it's
going on. in
freaking
there.
ridiculous,
So it's
man.
kind of
It's like
again, it's kind of like an entry show.
Yeah,
for
it really
younger
is.
people, yeah.
It's I mean, but it's been cool because like there was a time in the the second episode of Mando this season where I was like, "Holy crap, we might meet the Bad Batch right now." Because
Yeah.
they were in the
Yeah.
same place at the same time.
Yeah,
Doing the same thing.
yeah.
But we didn't. So that's the stuff that I'm hoping
That
for.
would actually.
right?
That would be.
That's
kinda
what I'm
cool,
hoping
yeah.
for. Where I know what's coming because I've been watching all like the whole big picture.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that'd be cool if they started to intertwine some.
I mean
of it a little
they're
bit
gonna
more.
have to, right?
I mean, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's what they're doing. Yeah.
I think that was it for Star Wars stuff.
Okay.
I think Book of Boba Fett ended before we went off the air, but if it didn't, I don't want to talk about it. So,
Well,
It's still an open wound for Casey.
it is. We had the Halo show on Paramount Plus.
Didn't finish it.
Didn't finish it.
didn't watch it.
Didn't watch it. I didn't finish it either. So we'll move on. The Last of Us.
S tier.
S tier.
S tier.
Best show that I've watched.
Best
on TV
video
in the
game
last-
adaptation to on screen.
I mean, I'll go
It
with
might
that.
be-
I'd say all time.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's
I don't even
and I
think it's
don't
even
know
an
if it
argument.
will ever get topped.
I don't think it's even an argument.
I mean, I still struggle with too much fungi, but otherwise it's good.
Yeah.
I haven't finished. I've only gotten maybe 2 or 3 episodes in.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, Pedro Pascal is a big reason for that, right?
He's
Like
Yeah,
he's
really
so
good actor, yeah.
He's
good,
the guy. He is
right?
100% the guy right now.
His SNL was really good.
yeah.
By the way,
Dude, all the
That
stuff
was a
that he's been
couple-
doing has been really good.
Yeah.
He did Hot Ones. He did the whatever the Snack Wars was the show they have in Europe. He did that and it's really funny. Like a lot of stuff that he's done has been really funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I will say that the expectations need to be lowered going into season 2 from somebody who's played
Yeah.
The Last of Us Part 2. So listeners who are excited for season 2, be excited, but temper your expectations
Oh.
because the last episode of The Last of Us, as controversial as that is, it doesn't stop there.
yeah.
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 So,
I haven't seen
I'll
it,
agree
so
with
no
you there.
spoilers.
Yeah.
No spoilers
well,
for
do you not
this.
remember how the game ended?
Yeah,
because it
I
ends the
guess.
same way.
Well, but a lot of the show hasn't been totally true to the game.
It's been pretty
so-
close.
Pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, I guess some of it's just stuff that wasn't in the game. It's just kind of backstory stuff, right?
Yeah. So,
So, yeah, okay.
We had Morbius.
it's a pile of crap.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, it was pretty
I didn't
bad.
think it was that bad. It was
the only
interesting.
reason that movie has any kind of legs is because Jared Leto is a pretty decent actor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Otherwise, awful.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty bad. Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore.
Bad.
Never
Bad.
saw it.
Very disappointing.
I was very disappointed. with
It had
as
so
well.
much
It was
potential for us to finally see Dumbledore versus what's his face? Grindelwald. And it was nothing. It's like
What
the-
was Lem's take? That's really
the same.
who we should be asking.
The same.
Really?
Yeah, she was disappointed too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was super hyped going into the movie, and because like in the Harry Potter world, everybody always talks about how Dumbledore defeated Grindelwald.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And how it was a big old battle and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then on screen it was nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, that was the climax? Like, terrible. Yeah. Also, Ezra Miller's in it, and he's an awful actor. They are an awful actor. So
you want me to take
and
it?
a terrible
I'm done with your
person.
bottle.
I'm good.
We've got Top Gun Maverick.
Didn't see it.
Didn't see it.
Don't ever plan to see it.
Didn't see it either.
My-
All right.
So for those that just heard that and went, what? My thing is, I was never like a big fan of the first Top Gun.
I never even saw the first Top Gun,
I
and
mean,
I
the
had
first
no
Top
desire
Gun-
to.
Your nickname is the Goose.
Well, no,
That is funny, right?
completely unrelated, but yeah, I mean, like the first one when it came out, was huge too,
Right,
just
right.
like the second one
Yeah.
was, and I remember going to see it, and yeah, there's some cool, like, exciting stuff in there, but like the story just came across so like cheesy and kind of like overdone to me.
Yeah.
And so I haven't, like, I'm surprised kind of that Mama Goose hasn't said let's go see it, but
That's true, actually.
but it's like if she's not super interested, I'm not super
Yeah.
interested. I've heard good
Currently
things,
on
but-
Paramount Plus if you do want to watch it.
Yeah, I've heard good
I won't be
things.
watching it.
I've heard that the fighter jet stuff is pretty cool.
I have
which
no
I'm
interest
sure
in
it
fighter
is,
jet
but-
anything.
No,
No.
House of the Dragon.
Insane.
it was really
Insane.
good. Yeah, that was really good.
Like House of the Dragon, if you put House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones next to each other, like apples to apples, House of the Dragon is better
really
than the
I
entire
don't know
Game of
about
Thrones
that.
series. Absolutely,
End
it is.
to end, I think Game of Thrones was better in my opinion, but House
Yeah,
of Dragon
House
was
of the Dragon needs to be able to maintain that
Yeah,
quality for at
exactly.
least 5 seasons to be
Yeah.
on the pace. Like, because Game of Thrones season 6, 7, and 8, awful. Like, don't even need to watch those. But
That's
seasons
true.
1 through 5, best TV of our lifetime.
Probably.
pretty good.
You know, House of the Dragon needs to maintain that.
I
through 5
loved.
seasons in order to get.
I
to that.
loved House of the
I
Dragon,
kind of forgot about
and I
House
cannot
of the Dragon.
wait until we get season 2 next year.
Yeah, 2024.
Yeah.
Hold on. I think there's only one more. It was Avatar: Way of Water. Way of the Water.
Unfortunately, really good. If you like that take.
I have like this dichotomy with that because it's basically the first movie but in water. However, so from that perspective, like for me there was no surprises, no like major, like it just kind of was.
Right.
It was entertaining, don't get me wrong. But there was one scene in there that literally had me like shifting in my chair like no movie has done in a long time. So I mean, it was well done.
It was
It was too long. It could have been.
Agreed.
It could have been a half.
and James
hour
Cameron
shorter.
wanted it to be longer.
Yeah, it could have been shorter.
Like the director's
I mean,
cut
if
of that
you're
movie
gonna-
is going to be 10 hours long.
if it's gonna be super long, then give me more story that's
Right.
not the same as the first story was.
yeah,
That's,
it's
it's
I-
basically the same story.
it was very entertaining. I went into it hoping that it wasn't as good because I don't appreciate what James Cameron's been doing to try and regain the title of highest grossing movie ever.
Oh yeah, that's a little.
By like
yeah.
he's released Avatar 10 years after it came out like 3 different times to
Yeah.
try and regain that title. So I don't appreciate that. And I think James Cameron is kind of an asshole just for the sake of being an asshole.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And so I really didn't want to like the movie, but I'm going to go see it because I'm like the biggest sci-fi nerd ever, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I was entertained, and I think that it is hands down the best VFX movie that we may ever see.
There you go.
Hot take.
Hot take.
So
That's all. That's all I've got
that's all I've got.
on my list. Goose, you got anything for us?
I'm trying to think. I feel like there was some other shows.
I don't know.
Oh, what's the one with Adam? Not Adam.
Adam.
The guy from Parks and Rec.
Oh, Severance.
Severance.
Yeah, Severance
Dude,
was insane.
Did you watch Severance, Casey?
Never saw it.
Oh my god.
Never saw it.
Dude.
Very good.
Severance
Yeah,
is good.
There was a lot more on like a list that I found, but there was too many that I knew that either most of us or some of us hadn't seen. There was a couple on here. Like I thought for sure Goose would have watched Top Gun Maverick, so I was surprised on that one. I thought Captain Kreegs finished Halo.
Nope.
And then I thought at least somebody.
I'm a
would watch
PlayStation guy,
Creed,
you know
so
that.
that's fair.
That's nice.
So,
We have a buddy who finished it. Chris, a friend of the show, he finished it and he said that it was pretty good.
all right,
There you go.
So, but yeah, that'll be it for our first episode back in a year. Hope you guys liked it. And we will see you in a week.
thanks everyone.
I don't know where the camera's at.